County Chief Prosecutor, who's an assistant district attorney. We have Warren DeProm with us also this evening. Joining us, someone who knew Sandra Bland very well, LaVon Mosley, and she actually stayed with you when she came back to Texas from Chicago. Now, tell us, what was it like, first of all, seeing her, and she was so excited to get a new job at her alma mater, Prairie View A&M.
That's correct. And actually, she wasn't staying with me. Actually, she was just staging her stuff there.
Yeah.
They had notified her on Wednesday that they were going to be giving her an interview on Thursday. She left Chicago at 2 p.m. on Wednesday and arrived in Prairie View at 9:30 Thursday morning. She had an interview at 1 o'clock. She showered, changed, went to her interview, notified me by 3 o'clock that she had had the job. And she was making arrangements to stay with either her sorority or one of the friends, one of the many friends that she has in Prairie View.
Now, when you found out, you talked to her Saturday. After she was arrested, she told you she had a $5,000 bond. And then when you got that call alerting you that she was actually dead, what was that like for you?
Well, actually, I talked to her on Friday night after she had gotten arrested, and they had not set a bail yet. Judge wasn't available at the time, so she had mentioned that a judge would be in between 9 and 5 on Saturday. She called me at 1:45. I missed that call. I returned the call at 2:30, and they informed me that they did set bail and it was at $5,000, but I never spoke to her again after that Friday.
Now, do you think something happened to her in that jail? Now, we've heard the video and we've seen the video about mental issues. Do you think she took her own life or something happened to her in that jail?
Something definitely happened to her. If you have ever heard hashtag Sandy Speaks, she always talks about her thirst for life and her commitment to giving back to the community. She had just started a new job. She just got through driving 16 hours. She interviewed, she got the job, so that's not behavior or characteristics of someone that wants to take their own life.
Now, Warren, how do you get over and deal with something like this? You're one of the prosecutors in Waller County. If you have people saying that this woman was murdered by someone in the jail, but you guys have, you personally viewed the video, and you don't see anything that went wrong, how do you combat that when on social media they're saying she was murdered in Waller County?
Well, we've never said that we didn't see anything that went wrong, but we did see the video, and that was the primary concern, and we focused on that with the Texas Rangers, and the FBI immediately was determined whether or not she took her own life or whether or not somebody came in and murdered her. The video is very revealing, the evidence is very revealing, and we're pretty confident that she took her own life at this point.
Now, how do you address that or make the public understand that? Because right now, they're hell-bent that someone did something to her in that jail.
Sure, and people need to consider the sources of where they're getting their information. People can speculate all they want to about what happened, but the facts and the evidence will speak for itself and can't be faked. We want to release the evidence to the media and to the public as soon as possible, but we're working with her family so that they can be the first people to see that. As soon as it's appropriate, we will release all the evidence so that everybody can see it and see what happened. It's a new day in Waller County. We've got new staff and new prosecutors, and we want nothing more than for there to be an open and honest investigation into this case.
Now, one of the things you said was it's a new day. Do you think Waller County's history causes a problem for you guys now? There are allegations of racism against the sheriff. I've talked to residents there who have said that there's racism in Waller County. Is that a stumbling block for you as a prosecutor and an official there?
It's not a stumbling block. It's something that we need to be aware of. But just keep in mind, we've got a new county judge. The district attorney has brought in almost an entirely new staff. We've got fresh new police officers, brand new Texas Rangers. We even formed the area's first hate crimes task force to prevent crimes of hate against minorities, gays, African Americans, whomever. So we're being very proactive and progressive in law enforcement, and we're not going to let this rest. We're not going to sweep anything under the rug. If somebody needs to be held accountable, they will be held accountable.
Now, LaVon, real quick in our final remaining moments, do you think something was swept under the rug here?
Oh yeah, something was definitely swept under the rug. You have to remember that Waller County has a history of this type of behavior. 2012, they had another incident where an inmate supposedly hung himself. They had a press conference on yesterday, and I asked the sheriff, has anything changed procedurally since that happened? And nothing has. They haven't changed any type of procedure. There's been no policy change, and there's been 3 incidents of this nature since 2012. And so there's a murderer in the county jail.
Now, you're absolutely convinced that the recent video that we've seen that she says she has mental issues plays no role in this?
Well, I don't think it has any role, and we don't know what happened, what events happened leading up to her having that self-diagnosis. We do know, if you look at the video, Ms. Bland says, "I have epilepsy," and the officer says, "Good." So now when you think about resisting, was she resisting or was she having a medical episode? And there's no sensitivity there when she's telling you, "I'm epileptic," and you're still forcing her to the ground.
All right. LaVon Mosley, Warren DuProm from Waller County, we want to thank you guys for both. There's a lot of issues that we have to deal with in Waller County, but we will continue the Isiah Factor Uncensored when we come back, and we'll talk about the issue of Caitlyn Jenner. So stay with us. We'll be back after this break.